All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about Canelo Alvarez and some news that came out around, wow, how much he put to the side to avoid a Jermall Charlo fight and fight DMITRY BIVOL. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about the 168-pound division, specifically Canelo Alvarez, DMITRY BIVOL, and yep, you got it right, Jermall Charlo. But before I get into that, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are a longtime supporter of the channel, thank you so much for continuing to support the channel and watch the videos. If you're new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon so that you can be notified of when we release more videos. All right, let's get into this. And, you know, for Canelo Alvarez fans that are upset with pretty much anything that you say about Canelo Alvarez, that is not, you know, flattering to Canelo Alvarez, you're not going to like this video because I'm going to share with you a point of view of several people that I've spoken with, but also some facts came out around the DMITRY BIVOL fight with Canelo Alvarez that I think are pretty relevant. Now, as we know, Canelo Alvarez lost to DMITRY BIVOL by unanimous decision in his fight that took place on Saturday night. DMITRY BIVOL beat him pretty much. I thought he won at least 10 of the 12 rounds. However, somehow, like, you know, well, not somehow, you know how it goes with Canelo Alvarez. You know, you're down 4-0 when you walk into the ring, and that's exactly what happened to DMITRY BIVOL. All four judges had the first 4 rounds for Canelo Alvarez. Even though it was clear, maybe 1 and 2, you could have say went to Canelo Alvarez, but by 3 and 4, DMITRY BIVOL was definitely in those rounds, winning those rounds. And quite honestly, there was nothing I saw in rounds 1 or 2 that would tell me that, you know, that none of the judges would have given him those rounds. But it's Canelo Alvarez, and so even though DMITRY BIVOL wins the fight in a landslide in the rounds that I was looking at, he comes up with a 2-point win, or basically 1 round away from a draw on all 3 scorecards, and DMITRY BIVOL becomes a champion. Now, in the aftermath of this is the information that I'm like, wow, this is not what Eddie Hearn represented. The deal that DMITRY BIVOL took to fight Canelo Alvarez was this. Canelo Alvarez got $15 million guaranteed, plus 70% of the pay-per-view. And DMITRY BIVOL got $2 million, plus 30% of the pay-per-view. So in the aftermath of the fight, when Canelo Alvarez and Eddie Hearn said that they want the rematch with BIVOL, what BIVOL says is we're going to have to renegotiate this because, you know, we just took any amount of money for this really big fight because we wanted to get the fight, right? Now is we're the champion and we got mistreated this whole fight, and they really did. I mean, they came in the ring second. I mean, they came in the ring first. When the fight was over, they didn't even announce him as the WBA champion. Just complete and utter disrespect for DMITRY BIVOL. But DMITRY BIVOL got paid $8 million less, $8 million less than Caleb Plant got for fighting Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez, though, got $15 million guaranteed, which is, let me see, what is that from 40 guaranteed against Caleb Plant? So he was $25 million less than he got paid for Caleb Plant. $25 million less for that BIVOL fight than he was offered to fight Jermall Charlo, and $35 million less than he would have gotten for fighting David Benavidez or Errol Spence Jr. in the 3-fight deal that the PBC offered him. Now, this is what I am contending. DMITRY BIVOL says after the fight that if he's going to fight Canelo Alvarez again, he wants to do that at 100 168 pounds so that he can fight for the undisputed title at 168 pounds. He is not interested in a fight for his WBC 175-pound belt. When he was in the ring, I'm telling you, when I'm looking at the ring, you guys can disagree if you want. What I looked at when I saw that ring is a guy that did not look substantially bigger than any of the guys that were at 168 pounds. And he has proven it by saying, I'll fight you at 168. I'll get down that extra 7 pounds and fight you for all of your belts at 175 pounds. I believe that these guys, that this fight was exactly what they said it was, that this was a cherry pick gone wrong. He got in there with DMITRY BIVOL, thinking DMITRY BIVOL was a straight up and down Eastern European fighter, and he was going to be able to get through that guy and get another accolade and turn down massive amounts of money from fighting guys that had who also have a legitimate chance of beating him. Now, people said, okay, the fight with DMITRY BIVOL, that's going to be a tougher fight than the Jermall Charlo fight. That's going to be a tougher fight than the David Benavidez fight. That's going to be a tougher fight than the Demetrius Andrade fight. I will tell you this. You may say that it is. However, even if it is a tougher fight, it doesn't matter anymore because DMITRY BIVOL proved he can beat Canelo Alvarez. He was hit and beat Canelo Alvarez in a landslide. So quite honestly, Charlo, Demetrius Andrade, and Benavidez do not have to be as tough a fight as DMITRY BIVOL was, and still be able to beat Canelo Alvarez. What I maintain is that Canelo Alvarez and his team know that he is on the downside of his career, and being on the downside of his career, he was going for the fighters that are the safer bet, all the way to the tune of taking a $25 million pay cut in order to fight him. Now, maybe, if you want to look at it, say, Canelo Alvarez has all kind of money. He's made tons and tons of money. He just doesn't care about money anymore. If he does not care about money, okay. However, since he's a human being, and not very many human beings that get in there to get punched in the face don't care about the money that they're making. To me, it seems like, no, it was a calculated decision that it is safer, that those big money fights are still going to be there, and he can still climb up and go get as many other paydays as he can, lesser paydays against easier competition, and then can eventually go and fight those guys, the Charlos, the Andrades, and the Benavidez's later. But I'm going to tell you, man, from the way that I saw that fight, I mean, dude, I think that people should agree that Jermall Charlo beating Canelo Alvarez is not some unreasonable thing. Demetrius Andrade beating Canelo is not some unreasonable, unfathomable thing. And David Benavidez beating Canelo Alvarez is not some unfathomable thing. Canelo Alvarez went into that fight with DMITRY BIVOL and did not have a game plan, it seems, other than try to hit him with some real big knockout blow, to try to knock him out with some, one-shot knockout type of situation, and punch him on his arms until his arms dropped. But guess what? He could take it on the arms well enough to continue to play defense. And then when Canelo Alvarez got tired from throwing all those big bombs, bing, 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 here comes the scoring blows, which, by the way, were heavy enough to rock Canelo and push him back. I think that these other guys can do at least the same thing as BIVOL in that regard, and also throw in other wrinkles. But it is what it is. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.